Welcome to today's video and guide. We got it all for you here today, all 15 floors as a free-to-play player, my friends. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. On top of that, if you got a question, if you got a comment, certainly let me know. And we'd love to see you in our amazing community and Discord server. Now, a couple things. We got each of the floors here in today's episode so that you have it in one consolidated place so that you can come back to it, keep taking it down over and over if you need. So that is what today's episode and guide is for you. Down below, you can find everything that you need to know in today's timestamps. Best of luck completing Choco Cake Tower. And on top of that, I believe in you, and I think you can do it just like me as a free-to-play player. Let's get into it here, my friends. Switch over here. However, we were able to do it with this, so we'll leave it at that for now. We also have Rockstar on cooldown, so this is Solid Almond for defense. Damage resist, we got cooldown. We have attack here. We also have defense here for survivability, not on attack, something you could consider. And then we also have Twizzly Gummy here on attack and not crit. Now, the other key thing that was very, very important for me was the Biscuits here. So let's go back out. We can look at them a little bit more in detail. What really mattered here for me on the Biscuits was making sure that they're maxed out. Additionally, having damage resist or HP or those kinds of things just for more survivability, particularly at my 5-star on my cookies, made a huge difference here in terms of making our way through. So here's another example. We did have damage resist bypass on this, but we do have HP up. This one can be changed. In particular on this one, but that HP was nice. Here we have more HP, more damage resist bypass for Black Lemonade. And then here as well, we can boost this one up a little bit more. So this one definitely helps. So let's go ahead and do that. Look at that, my friends. Plenty of stuff there. Perfect. All right, so we got cooldown HP for more survivability there. Look at that. And then last but not least, and we can ascend here, but we'll leave it. Biscuits right here, again, HP. So lots of survivability. Those are some things and considerations that I moved and made changes to for this particular group. So again, we can bump this one up, but all at 5-star. No myth or legendaries or ancients in here too, by the way, which is great. Only super epics and epics in order to help you clear, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and take down the Mangosteen Water Bomber. We walk through the tactics, we walk through the team, we walk through the toppings of Biscuits, as well as the lovely toppings, tactics, team, and treasures. That was the one I was missing. Treasures. All right, let's get into it because you're going to treasure this match as we get by and take down Mangosteen. As always, we got swag and merch and other great ways to support the channel down below. Thank you very much. As you can see, we can do this in auto. So watch this health really gets dropped really quickly. The key there is making sure that that Rockstar can keep moving. And you can watch here that we can keep that bar off, which is the shield. Now, these zapped attacks are going to be huge. Receive increased crit damage is also huge. And that is exactly how we're going to roll here today, my friends. And look at this. So much more damage output. Before, the best that we did was about halfway. This team gets us there all the way in order to take this thing down. Oh, we just about lost it, if you saw that. So close. And here we improved on our PR, better than 10 seconds. All right, there we go, my friends. To this. So again, we have cooldown, we got our legendary, we're on attack, we got our legendary, we're on attack, we got our legendary, we're on attack, we got our legendary and attack, and our legendary. You can actually go to crit here. So let's do that instead. Now, a couple things, though, I did beat it there, so we'll see how this goes because we made a couple better tweaks than what I was doing potentially before. All right, so that is the tactics. That is the tactics, the team, the treasure, and the toppings. All 4 pieces there, the T's, toppings, Biscuits, in order to help you succeed and get by Cream Roll Hog Rider here. Now, if you still got questions, if you got comments, shoot them my way. Feel free to join us in the community in the Discord server. All information is available to you down below. All right, let's go after it here. Now, again, the biggest thing that you don't want to have happen is you don't want to get stun locked. Absolutely not. So between Cream Puff and between Milky Way there, you're going to be able to help have that resist. Not being able to get that stuff off right away kind of slows us down, but the big thing here is watch the health bar. As long as we get to about 7 million here with less than a minute left, we're going to be just fine. And here you can see all that going on. Now, the other thing that Cream Roll Hog Rider gets is that invulnerable state. Playing around that makes a huge, huge difference in order to get by and take this thing down. And there we go. Lots and lots of damage. We got one more. There's the buff again. Invulnerable. And now, my friends, we once again have a new PR. Here's the little guys. Like I said, it's still going, still going. Now they're gone. And that is our new PR for Decadent Choco Cake Tower Tray 2 for you here today. Radiant or Resonant, we always recommend as well where it makes sense, like Crimson Coral as an example. Make sure you got your biscuits here. The best thing that you can always do is upgrade your biscuit. So as an example, we can go here. We're only on Legendary. We do have HP, which is great. We could switch over to something like Damage Resist Bypass or Debuff Resist and Crit Resist being a little bit better. But once again, I was able to get by with this one just by leveling this thing up just a little bit. Will give us more survival, more attack, those kinds of things as well. That's one of the best things that you can do. But I also like to show some of these things like the last episode as well, where I do make some of those tweaks real time for you so that you can see. It makes a huge difference in your team and also gives you some ability to kind of hedge in what you're playing with in order to get by. So that, my friends, is everything here when it comes to the tactics, the team, the treasure, and the toppings to take down Pralina, the Candle Staff. If you still have questions or comments, let me know, or feel free to join us in the Discord server. We do have that information available to you down below. All right, so let's get into it here. We're going to go for a run. You're going to see how this is going to work as we take down Pralina. I really do like this team. You'll watch here and see that a ton of this stuff is going to get hit really hard and burn down really, really hard. Right now it's on Crimson Coral, but it does move around. And that's going to be the trick to our survival and staying alive. There you go. Lots and lots of damage there, as you can see. Now, also on top, just by keeping everything alive, we get lovely, lovely, lovely amounts of damage. There's big bursts there when it comes to Sorbet Shark as well. Makes a huge, huge difference for this team. All right, we're just about over halfway. Looking pretty good on the clock still. Again, Peppermint getting just absolutely drilled there. As you can see, look at that. And we're just gonna survive. Look at that, we survived. So that is so close. And now we're down to our final 5 million here. Can we make it happen? There's those big jumps. We still can get Sorbet Shark in at least 2 more times here before the end. And there we go, my friends. Last hit, last ditch effort. It is done with just only moments or seconds to spare with our team here on Decadent Choco Cake Tower Tray 3. Taking down Pralina through this, and let's get through this. Solid Almond for survivability here. Obviously, our biscuit. Similar here. Here's an exact look. Raspberry for damage. Another consideration here, because Black Lemonade can be very close to getting wiped, could be Solid Almond as well, just with focus on attack to keep boosting attack. We also have Shining Glitter here. Here we're on Solid Almond as an example, so you could flip those two. Creme Brulee on attack, and then our friend here, Snapdragon, on cooldown. So this is how you want to make this happen. Additionally, on top of that, you can see I'm about 300,000 points short, but we're going to make this happen for us here today. So again, any questions, any comments, let me know, because I'd love to hear from you as always. Let's get into it here for our battle and run. Now, as always, we got swag and merch available. You can certainly feel free to support that. There's that first hit that I was talking about. We almost lost finance here. The rest of the match is going to be like this. It is going to be heavily, heavily close on keeping that Black Lemonade cookie alive. Absolutely alive. Just watch this bar. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wicked. It's going to be fun. and we're gonna make it happen here for you today. And while you're watching that, watch the Waffle Goliath's health there, my friends, as well. We're over halfway with less than a minute left. We are so close to taking this thing down. Look at this. Look at this. We're still there. Look at this. Oh, it just barely made it, and we made it through. How incredible is that, my friends? We absolutely crushed this thing. We got the right team for you right here to take down Tower Tray 4. Absolutely gorgeous, my friends. Thanks. So a couple things here. Here we're on damage resist. I'm actually not even on a legendary biscuit. I'm going to prove it to you right here. Again, you can get through this without even all this. This is why strategy matters so much and why I keep hitting on that stuff all the time, particularly as a free-to-play player. Now, again, here we have Milky Way. We're on cooldown. Here we're on our lovely, lovely prune juice. We're on cooldown. Here we're on attack. And again, I don't think, oh, I did put one on. Okay. But it's not leveled up, so look at that. All right, and then last but not least, we have Cotton, and we got cooldown here as well. So I wanted to show you all those things. There's plenty of room for my team to get better, and we did it with this team, which makes me so ecstatic. So with that, that is the tactics, that's the team, that's the treasure and the toppings, our Jungle Zoo strategy here with a ton of summon units. My friends, if you still got questions, if you got comments, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And feel free to join us in that Discord server because we always talk about stuff like this in there. So, all right, so there we go. And I did come up with this all by myself, I promise. All right, here we go. Let's go in battle because I'm all about giving credit where credit's due. I promise you that too. All right, here is tray number 5. Watch this. This is going to be ridiculous. Look at this. The health, all the stuff is going to be just fine. We're going to get the heals from Cotton. We're going to get the shield from Milky Way here. And then just keep watching this health go, my friends. Look at this. We got so many summoned units doing so many things to the pomegranate scarab here. Look at that. Just huge. It just starts dropping like crazy. Look at this. Tons and tons of poison. All this stuff in here, sticky goo, damage reflection, just not good enough. And not only that, we did it with 40 seconds left, which is probably the fastest I've been able to do one of these levels. And now you can see why I'm so ecstatic. And we did it with 75s and not even fully upgraded units. My friends, you can do this too. I've heard things and biscuits. We do have all the guides, all the guides available down below, so you can certainly check those out. As other ways here, we always recommend Resonant or Radiant when it makes sense, just like this for Crimson Coral as an example. So here we go with each of our teams. Here we're on Solid Almond, here we're on attack, here we're on attack, here we're on cooldown, and here we're on cooldown. We want to make sure a lot of our damage is going between these two. The biggest helpful thing that was able to help me overcome this was adding more attack here on my Legendary Biscuit for Tart to Tan, just to boost a little bit more up there. On top of that, we can take a quick look here. I got HP for a little bit more survivability, and then really nice damage resist bypass here, also for Street Urchin, making a big difference there for us. So those were a couple of the key tweaks that I made to make sure that this team would work its way through for me. Additionally, we're about 400,000 short in terms of power level. So again, that is why strategy matters so much when it comes to these things. All right, so that's the tactics, that's the team, the treasure, biscuits, and the toppings in order to help you succeed and get by this. Let's go for a run here and try again. And that was probably the third time was the charm one. If I would have just let it go, it probably would have been just fine on auto. Here we go. One more. We gotta prove it to you. I promise this is the team to get it done. All right, come on, team. Whew. Let's go. Again, if we can get to that 31 just before it flips, 32, that's just enough. We need to be about that halfway point, like I said. There's a good hit. One more big one right there. It's very close. Come on, team. Come on, team. There was a good one. Little bit of crit goes a long way, right? Oh, I can't believe we had it at that 60,000. Didn't give it to us. Didn't give it to us. Oh, we're running so close. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. One more hit for each. Let's see if we get it. We got it! Yes! Yes, yes! So there it is, my friends. Couple things. Here is we're on attack. Here we're on cooldown. Here we're on cooldown. Here we're on attack. And here we're on cooldown. So again, really on attack and cooldown primarily for these two, for survivability, getting the skills off quickly, and then healing, those kinds of things. So that is where we're at with this team. We're at 1.26 million, so only about 200,000 off. That's probably one of my closer, stronger teams relative to where the boss has been for a lot of these levels. So it's a good matchup regardless. So let's go ahead. If you still got questions, if you got comments about this, do let me know, because I love to hear from you. Love seeing your other alternative teams, those kinds of things. Swing by the Discord server as well. All right, let's go for it here and make it work. It could be very, very close. As we always say, a lot of luck or a little bit of luck can go a long way in this game. One of the problems that we could run into is just some of those ticks not hitting when we need them to hit, those kinds of things. So it's actually 40, not 30. As you can see, we'll start to get lots of stacks on there. Here we go. If you watch, you'll start to see that life really, really fall off, which is a crucial component of the skill, well, the strategy of this team. Obviously, again, tons and tons of ticks there. There we go. We got a nice big hit. Ideally, when you get to about a minute, just like us, you want to be over halfway. We're over halfway at the moment. It's a good baseline, a good benchmark for you. Golden Cheese is still doing just fine here. We haven't lost any of our cookies, keeping everything up. As you can see, Doomstar can do a ton of damage on your team, which can become a problem. However, we do have the right mix. 1 million left. Can we do it right here, my friends? And there it is. 14 seconds left. A great run for us here today for Trace 7, Decadent Choco Cake Tower, level 7, and the Doomstar, my friends. We're going to be on Solid Almond. Here, we're going to be on cooldown. Here, we're on Solid Almond. Here, we're on attack, and then here, we're on cooldown. Now, most of my Biscuits typically have 1 or 2 of the substats. Definitely feel free to attune, reset, all that fun stuff, so you can get more. I'm primarily 2, some have 3, just due to the luck that I've had in terms of getting those. I am saving my crystals. I got a crystal farming guide here for you, just because we're seeing how far we can go. And those are some things to consider there for you as well. And you can see all these equipped topping effects, Biscuit effects here too, if you're curious on that breakout. All right, so that is our team, my friends. That is the tactics, the team, the toppings, and the treasures, plus Biscuits, in order to help you get by Remorseful Sugar Swan here. Let's go ahead and run it with the team so you can see exactly how this is going to work, so that you can take down Tray 8. Now, ideally, generally, a rule of thumb is right around 1 minute. You're going to want to be around half. So we need to be at about 12 million damage left. You can watch our team down here. Tons and tons of things going on, tons of buffs in terms of what's hitting us, all that stuff. Now you can see we do pretty good on keeping the life alive for our cookies. One may get hit pretty hard every once in a while. However, we're still able to make sure we can overcome this. We're real close here in terms of 1 minute left, right at that 12 million marker. Very, very crucial here. There's that pushing back that we talked about. Almost losing Prune Juice Cookie there. We need a lot more of this damage to start stacking. That's going to be key. Here it goes. Here it goes. Starting to pop off. We got some big, big chunks there. Couple more left. Just 1 million. Only 1 million. And finish those off. We have it, my friends. That, in a nutshell, with about 12 seconds left, is the team to get you by Decadent Choco Cake Tower Tray 8. We are on Solid Almond here. We're on Solid Almond here. We're on attack with Matcha. We're on cooldown here with Prune, and cooldown here with Cotton. Now, a couple of things about these. Generally, I have the magic candies at least +10. So you want to be at least that, hopefully, if you can. Otherwise, I still think you might be able to get through even if you're not there. Now, I'm at 1.1 million versus almost 1.5, so we're about 400,000 short. As a free-to-play player, I'm pretty proud of this because we can take it down, and now you can as well. If you still got a question, if you got a comment, let me know because I'd love to hear from you. As always, and feel free to join us in that Discord server, my friends. All right, let's get into this battle here because it is a good one. Now, a couple things as well. We do have swag and merch available to you down below. So if you saw that, getting wiped at the beginning is a huge problem. We're going to show you how you avoid that. I did that on purpose. Yes, on purpose, because this is what you need to do. This is the trick, this one out of the gate. Oh, click, 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 click. There we go. You dump that at the beginning, so the big swing, boom, does not hit you. When you do that, you survive that first piece. You can keep all your cookies alive here, at least for about the halfway mark. That is going to make or break a huge difference for you. The other thing that you can do is certainly keep on trucking here and keeping this damage and stuff on the lovely, lovely Frost boss. We're very, very close. We're going to run into a problem here, potentially getting enough damage on and stun locking this guy. We'll see. We got some recovery. Can we do it without Cotton? We did it without Cotton. So those are a couple of key pieces. Generally, what's going to get wiped is going to be your poison. You'll be able to keep Cotton in this run. We did lose Cotton. However, we were able to make it by, so it does not meant or the Radiant where it makes sense. So those are all key things here. Here we're on attack, here we're on attack, here we're on Solid Almond for damage to survival. We're on attack here, and then also on cooldown here. Now you may want to go on Solid Almond here. He is a little squishy at times, so those are some key things. Each of my lovely biscuits here generally has two things, so those are a couple of ways that you can think about that too in terms of my cookies. And then obviously leveling them to 20 is going to make a huge difference for you as well. Now if we go here, you can see this one, we also got 3 as well. A couple different things, not as much but a little bit more squishy protection. I flipped that one around quite a bit. All right, so that, my friends, is key here in terms of the breakdown makeup of the team. Before we get into it, the key thing that I just want to make sure that you absolutely know is this. The trigger for the Brown Sugar Guardian Golem is at the 30-second mark. So a 130, a 1, and a 30. So if you can time it with Black Licorice, that is going to be key for you in terms of getting by. Now, we may not get it the first time. I hope I am for you here today. However, this is the team that I was able to use to get by. And it can be a little bit tricky on the timing. So just make sure that you're paying attention to those things. I'll probably do it at the fastest speed still, but ideally you don't have to be on auto. You can manually do this, and you can be on the slowest speed in order to do it as well. Just pay attention to that time bar. You're going to want to do it at right around the 1 second mark. 2 sometimes you can do it, so 31, 131, you know, 101. Then we got 31 seconds in order to do that. If you can get them landed nicely, this team will do enough damage to pound through it and get by. So all right, let's go for a run here and see if we can make. Here we are. Autos all the way in. Little bit of timing goes a long way, my friends. We'll see if we can get this one off twice. Maybe it's gonna be tight. So there you go. You can see the 8 million out of there right away. Or we can just try and drain it. Here we go. This might be the better way. There we go. Woo, let's see what we can do. Oh, that was the better way to do it. Don't even touch with it. That works. All right, let's get into it and break down Trey 11, the nightmare-ridden librarian. And this thing was an absolute nightmare for me. I swear, I've spent hours on this one, made tons of investments in my cookies. I think I've spent several millions in gold just to get here. So we got a lot of stuff to cover in our 4Ts. That's the tactics, the team, the treasures, and the toppings, with tons of tips and tricks to help you get by this one and take it down, Trey 11 like me, and keep on moving onwards and upwards. So first and foremost, this boss here, Nightmare Ridden Librarian, applies attack and attack speed debuffs when attacked with multiple regular attacks within a certain period of time. This enemy has a fast attack speed, absolutely blazing, and becomes enraged, absolutely crazy, and receives more damage when their HP drops below a certain level, which is around 90 million. Defeat them by dealing high damage. It also has a ton of life, and it's at 1.8 million. In our teams, not quite there. So a couple things here. It has Magic Orb, fires an orb concentrated with magic that deals damage, and Goblin Wisp summons multiple flames that circle around the enemy and deals periodic damage. The recommended cookies here are Captain Caviar. We also have Rebel Cookie and Space Donut. All three of these, a lot of them do work for a lot of players. Now, a lot of them I don't see Space Donut in, by the way. However, we have that as part of our team here. Now, before we get into a little bit more, we can't ever forget about these, the special conditions, both good and bad. For us as a free-to-play player, I think it makes a lot of things level, particularly getting your cookies to 5-star there. And we do beat this without full-blown ascensions as a free-to-play player myself. We have min cookie level 70, skill level 70, and then everything else is pretty much X. That's including your topping bonus. So what does that mean? Biscuits really matter. Now, a couple things in this one in particular. This is the team that we made it work. I absolutely am so ecstatic about this because it is a little bit different strategy. On top of that, we have different treasures and something very, very unique here, in particular, again, as a free-to-play player. My only 5-star, one of my very few 5-stars, is Cotton. So one of the reasons why I think this gets done, but also one of the reasons why is this thing right here, the Seamstress's Pin Cushion, increasing your attack by 61%, roughly 62, and lifetime by 22% for summon creatures. It does make a crazy difference, my friends, absolutely, positively. One of the hardest things with this one is truly survivability. Getting through this boss and staying alive on the crazy attacks, the speed of which it happens. Now, you may not get it the very, very first time. You got to stay at it just like me, hours and hours put into this, tons and tons of gold put into this. Now, the other thing before we get there is this particular strategy revolves around that defense reduction. So we're comboing here with Space Donut and Rebel Cookie on that reduction. Huge, huge reduction. And then what we have here is also Prune Juice for tons and tons of built up damage over time, plus the summon creature. Cotton here for a second healer, yes, but lots of summon units that can become distractions for the Nightmare Librarian. And then last but not least, Snapdragon there for a second healer with that additional health bubble that makes a huge difference. Now, in terms of our treasures, again, like I said, part of the problem I had was I kept getting killed. So getting this additional defense in here makes a huge difference. If you just go on the attack, lots of times your cookies will just get wiped. And my team at the level that I'm at is not able to survive that or get enough damage in, so this works out nicely. We have Seamstress's Pin Cushion, like I said, also makes a huge difference. And then last but not least, Sleepyhead's Jelly Watch, giving us that additional attack and that cooldown. Now, one of the things you can make sure that you can do as well, just like me, I'm going to back out here real quick, is make sure you do go into your treasures as always. Because what you do want to do is make sure that you have everything. Sometimes those seamstresses can be in there and super helpful. Don't forget to do that. That's one additional tip and trick. And then you can obviously go over here, make sure that everything here is maxed out. I had to make sure that I did go use this, so I just wanted to call that out as this additional side and tip and trick for you in the Sublime Tower. So let's get back to it here in 11 and kind of finalize some of these pieces. So we talked about the treasures, very unique. We talked about this team, very unique. We're also comboing it with a little bit of the zoo jungle mentality, as I like to say. So damage reduction, zoo mentality, gives us additional survivability with the double healers. Yes, you need to get the attack on, but if you can survive without getting total fully attack focused, it's another good strategy, and that's what this one is here for you now. Now, on top of that, our toppings and biscuits here, we recommend Radiant or Resonant. As always, we got all the guides for you down below. You can check those out here on the channel. We got the playlist, all that fun stuff. When it comes to our biscuits, one of the biggest things that I have found, most of mine, what you'll find on biscuit effects are, I have 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1. So 1, 1. So one of the biggest things that you can do is get those to 3 and 4 is going to make a huge difference there for you. You may even want to drop from legendary down if you get a bunch of 3s like me, giving you another idea. I want to throw that out there because it makes a huge difference just to get through these, and particularly this level. So here we're on cooldown, here we're on cooldown, here we're on attack, here we're on cooldown, and here we're on cooldown. So what we're doing is getting a lot of these skills, keeps resetting, getting the creatures out there gives the distraction. Lots of damage is going to come from Space Donut, so watch this because that is going to be key here for us. And keeping a lot of distractions up for this boss is what's going to help us survive. So we'll see if we can get by it. Our very first run here, I don't expect it. Sometimes you may have to do it multiple times. A lot of luck can go a long way. Again, survivability, those healings, all that stuff is going to make that huge difference here. Now, generally what's going to happen is a little bit under a minute, you'll get to that 90 million. Everything's going to get a little crazy. Hopefully, depending on what hits in terms of the skills, we'll have enough stuff out there, as you can see, as that distraction for the boss. So making a huge difference there for you. We're getting real close here, and it's going to get a little nutty and a little crazy. Let's get all these things out right away. There we go. There we go. Look at this. If we get these heals stacked, we can keep that survivability, which is exactly what's going on. All right, we lost Cotton, my friends. Uh-oh. Down to the wire. Not quite enough on this run. But that makes the huge difference there. If we don't get clipped and we don't get hit, and we can survive, we're going to go for it again. That is going to be the key piece for you. This team can be fairly consistent. As you've seen, I have beat it, and I have beat it a few times with this team in order to show you this particular guide. All right, here we go again. How's we're doing that? Don't forget our swag and merch, another great way to support the channel. The details, thank you for that. All right, here we go. Get ready, my friends. A little luck can go a long way, as we like to say. Generally, I think what you're going to want to have happen is you're going to have recently cast Cotton, recently cast anything with our lovely supporting units. Here we go. All right, this time's a little bit better so far. Come on, stay alive, my friends, stay alive. Oh, not quite. So close. Is third time gonna be a charm for us here today? I think so. I have faith. I hope you have faith, and that is the name of the game here. Here we go. Ideally, you want to kind of keep these two alive. I mean, keeping everything alive is key. That's why we're running this team. All right, come on. Here we go. Only counts when I get it done on these guys, I promise you. All right. Getting close. All right, there's that 90 with a minute left. As long as we don't lose... Oh, we lost Prune right away. Let's see if we can keep Cotton. Keep Cotton alive. We're still in it. More damage reduction in there. I think that was our best run so far. See, again, as long as we can keep the zoo train going up front and keep that damage off our key cookies, makes a huge difference. Now, again, a little bit of luck. A little wrong hit there, a little right hit somewhere else makes that difference here. Here we are, my friends. Come on, team. Come on, team. As a free-to-play player, this means so much to me to be able to get by this level, particularly because I don't have all these promoted cookies. All right, here we go. Heating up. Come on, everything get in there right now. Cotton, stay alive. There, good heal. Another good heal. Come on, Cotton, get off, get off. There we go. Uh-oh, there's Prune. We're getting down to the wire. Good heal there. Just a couple more. Oh, it was so close. We only need to live for about 10 million more life. That was still our best run right there. Crazy. All right, we're doing it again. Like I said, I promise it works. The good news is this this mode doesn't take anything but your investment in your biscuits. You're not using energy, stamina, any of that stuff to keep running here. All right. We have it. We have it. This is it. This is the one here. Time it just right. Come on, Snapdragon. Come on, Prune. Come on, Cotton. Come on, team. Heals, 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 heals. Big heals right now. Come on, Cotton. There we go. There it is. Prune Juice stayed alive this time around. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No. No. Just bad luck. Bad luck on that run. It's probably going to take me 100 tries. No, I'm just kidding. It shouldn't take 100. Maybe 10. I think this is like try 6. Here we go. We're going to prove it. We will prove it to you in today's guide, in today's episode. Only after a million runs. That's what the episode's going to be called. Millionth try counts. Because it does. You just got to get by. Here we go. Little bit of luck goes a long way. Alright. Cotton, come on, get ready to prep. We need our heals in right now. Here comes the heat. Here comes the heat. Oh, Prune's down. If we can get to that 25 million marker without losing everyone, gotta keep that stuff on. There we go. Oh, it's getting close. It's getting close. It's very close. 5 million. Uh-oh, on to the last 2. Oh, we got it. We got it. I love it. There it is, my friends. I am so ecstatic, like I said, because this team got it absolutely done, and you can do it too. And I bet all your stuff is in better shape than mine. And I'm a free-to-play player, just like many of you. So let's get into it. First and foremost, this boss here, the Cinnamon Wyvern, applies attack and attack speed debuffs. When attacked with multiple regular attacks within a certain period of time, this enemy becomes enraged. When HP drops below a certain level, attack and attack speed are increased while enraged. However, they become more vulnerable to electricity-type attacks. A couple things there. We got Ravage, chomps down on enemies, and then we got Poison Throw, fires a liquid ball of poison. So this thing deals a ton of damage and very fast when it's enraged. It absolutely does. Now, we have recommended units here all around the electric type with Black Lemonade. We also have Twizzly Gummy, and we have Stormbringer Cookie here because that is what it is vulnerable to. However, again, survivability and damage are key to running this one. Now, one other thing here, as always, we have the special conditions. In this battle, cookies will have certain stats adjusted. Min cookie level is 70, cookie skill level 70, min cookie grade is 5-star, bond, sugar gnome, laboratory cost sets, all that other stuff, X, isn't gonna matter. The big thing is biscuits absolutely do matter. The substats absolutely do matter. Your toppings still matter, but not the substats. Now, I personally did make some investments in my own biscuits in order to get by this and tweak a few things just so we could do this and get by here together. So let's talk about this. This is the team that we use here. So in terms of this is the strategy that I've used. And some of the stuff that you can also swap out is, instead of using Raisin, Black Raisin here, you can try with our friend Linzer as well. However, my Linzer just was not strong enough, and I did not tweak Linzer well enough in order to get by. However, I was able to do it with Black Raisin. So we'll talk about this here. A couple things. We get enough heal from Rockstar, which is a great boost. We have the lovely Black Raisin here. The big piece on Black Raisin is this. You don't see it here, but you got to go into Sentinel Strike here. What you're going to find is we get amplified damage right here. So damage received 3.8% for 10 seconds stacks up to 16. I'm at level 20, which gives me that attack 20 for the 4.4. The key here with Black Raisin is you want to keep it at 16 stacks. So you have to make sure that you're casting faster than that 10 seconds. Ideally 8 seconds will do it for you. I'm at about 9. Sometimes it doesn't quite hit, but that is the key to this one with Black Raisin. So think about that as the offsetting with Linzer in terms of some of the additional damage that you can get by, vulnerability, those kinds of things as well. Additionally here, what I've done is heavily focused on attack. We've also used the Grim Looking Sigh and Sleepyhead's Jelly Watch. You can try Dream Conductor's Whistle. You can also go with, if you need more defense here, Disciple's Magic Scroll or Squishy Jelly Watch, depending on what's better for you. If I play this one instead, that's probably enough between these two to knock Black Raisin into exactly where it needs to be for me. However, this is what I was able to use to get by, and that's what I'm sharing with you here today. Now, additionally, on top of that, we're using Black Lemonade. Now, the big tip here, not only on the Linzer stuff and kind of this team makeout that I'm giving, but from Kubo, was one of the things that I missed early on was the Enraged Dragon hits your back units. So that is why you need to make sure that you have enough damage resistance or survivability on your back units. It's either going to be the first or the second to last one. That makes and breaks you absolutely. Now, in the early stages when you're trying to tweak some of these things, that stuff falls really quickly because you're just trying to get to the Enrage, which is at that 70 million. Once it clicks off, all this other stuff is going to happen, and you may miss that piece. It's a huge part, which is why you need to be on damage resist or have functions of that, depending on the cookies that you're using. That is the key tip and trick, in my opinion, to get by this particular one outside of this team. We're using Rebel for the defense reduction, all the fun stuff there. We got the lovely Stormbringer, Black Lemonade for damage. Now, a couple key pieces here in terms of our toppings, as always, and biscuits. We do have all the ones that you need for your guides here on the channel. You can check those out or the playlist down below. We recommend Resonant Radiant when it makes sense. Definitely made some own tweaks to make that happen. So let's talk about a couple things here. In terms of the biscuits, generally assume that they're legendary, and we're going to be at least on 2 effects. Here, I did upgrade. If you watch some of the other videos, I did attune and add a little bit more here. I believe 1 for our friend Stormbringer. Absolutely. So that's typically where I'm going to be at. You're going to want 3 or 4 of these at least, generally, to kind of get by. It makes a huge difference, I promise. It really helps. It is also worth it, in my opinion. Now, on Rebel Cookie, so here we're on crit. Rebel Cookie, we're on cooldown. Here's my biscuit effects. I'm on 2 here. Let's go ahead on Rockstar. We actually are going with crit instead, so you can do that as well for better healing. Additionally here, I got 2. I'm on defense and HP. Then in terms of Black Lemonade, we go to our biscuit effects. We're on attack with Raspberry. Here I did 4 as well, and I got a ton of bypass. Not perfect, but quite a bit there. Certainly I could try and roll for 1 more bypass and get it up to that 14. That would be better than 2 of these adding to 14 kind of a thing, but every bit helps. So last but not least here, we do have Black Raisin. So I made a couple things with Black Raisin. I went and invested in the Resonant toppings, Radiant toppings here for the cheese. I went on cooldown as well, as we've seen over here, so we can keep those 16 stacks up like we talked about. It makes a huge difference. Now, in terms of our biscuit here, I did go attack speed and again, damage resist bypass. If we get 2 damage resist bypass, that'd be more ideal. Or, and again, because I'm not quite there, like I said, we could go additional cooldown. Or get it tweaked in the toppings. But again, remember, the toppings don't matter here on the substats. It's, again, where it is right here, so you can put it here as an example of where it should be. So those are all the key pieces and things to think through on this one. A little bit more tactical, a little bit more strategic, a little bit harder, as we would expect. as we continue to climb up here in Tray 12. So let's go ahead. If you still got a question, if you got a comment, let me know. Feel free to join us in our amazing Discord server and community as well. Kupo's there. So thank you, Kupo, once again. Let's get into it and take this down. Now, it may not happen that we get this the first time. A little bit of RNG definitely helps. You need some of that luck to make it happen every once in a while. Now, again, you can watch this. We get the 8 stacks. Sometimes if we don't cast this fast enough, there we go. We got to the 16. We're at 9 seconds. It's right on that border. If I went and changed over to that cooldown versus the attack, that might keep it on just enough. We don't want to screw that up. See, that time is a little bit faster at 8. That is a huge difference. If we can keep that 16 on the full time, that's going to get us there. What you'll notice here too is watch Black Lemonade. By running Black Lemonade and Black Raisin here, Black Lemonade's the one that gets attacked. There's the 8C, that makes the difference. By having Black Lemonade get attacked, we have an ability with the way that my Black Lemonade is set up to actually survive a little bit better and make this happen. The damage is going to continue to be there. We're going to keep our damage up and flowing. It is going to be so tight here, my friends. Down to the wire. And look at that. We didn't get it, even though we got it. 0.07 seconds over. And like I said, that is exactly why a little bit of RNG can go a long way. Let's do it again, because this team can absolutely beat this thing. And I'll let it go on auto here this time and see if that helps. As always, we got swag and merch available to you. It's a nice way to support the channel. Other great ways down below as well. Let's see if we can close this gap, close this down here. And here we go. We're getting close. There's that 70. It's clicking in into high speed, hyper speed right now, my friends. We got the 16 still on. I think it's still going to fall off one time. There it was right there. For whatever reason, that's what happens. It might be the timing on it that causes that to happen. However, getting that 16 to stay makes such a huge difference on that damage stack and the pass-through damage stacks, my friends. This is going to be close yet again. But again, very solid here in the way that our team can produce and survive. There was a big hit. We need one more big one here, my friends, just to get through the wire. And did it give it to us? It did. This time we got it. We improved by less than a second and made it through. Look at that. So close, my friends. But a great one here with our 5-star cookies and pretty much all epic team minus Stormbringer, which is awesome. So that, my friends, is Decadent Choco Cake Tower Tray 12. We have now done it. We have now completed this one. And we're going to keep on working our way to the top with you. All right, so let's get into it. First and foremost, this boss, Strawberry Crepe Cookie, applies attack and attack speed debuffs when attacked with multiple regular attacks within a certain period of time. This enemy gains high damage resist when Waffle Bots are summoned. Now, a couple things about this. It has Crepe Punch, swings both Waffle Crepe Fists, dealing damage. It has Crepe Thrust, uses giant crepe arms to cause area damage. Does Crepe Aura, creates an aura dealing periodic damage to nearby enemies. We also have Waffle Bot, I summon you, summons Waffle Bots and commences the attack protocol. Last but not least, Crepe Barrage, summons crepe cannons to attack the cookies. And my friends, that one really hurts. Now, a couple things here. We got the recommended blueberry pie cookie, so certainly definitely feel free to use if you have magic candy, all that kind of stuff. We also got Stormbringer and White Lily, so a little bit more heavy weighted to ancients on this one in particular. Now, don't forget, we also have our special conditions. So for me as a free-to-play player, this is actually pretty big for a couple of reasons. One, min cookie level is 70, min cookie skill level 70, so that definitely can help me out. And the cookie grade going to 5-star can certainly help me as well. Now, all the pieces there, Bond, Sugar Gnome, Laboratory Concepts, all that stuff, all my research bonuses for all these things, ain't gonna help me, unfortunately. If you see my research video, you can check it out. It's spent 2.5 years on that stuff. But anyway, toppings here do matter, but the topping bonuses don't help you, so you really got to think about how you're building your biscuits. Pay attention to that. The biscuits makes a huge difference, and I've certainly made investments, particularly in the last couple trays, in order to get by this. So let's go ahead and talk about the team that we're going to use here to bring it home. And here's what we have here today, my friends. We are going with Stormbringer and White Lily. So we're using that. We're staying in our lightning and electric type with and by keeping in Black Lemonade here. We got Linzer to help us really reduce the opponent's defense and get that increase in damage. And then additionally here we are using Snapdragon to keep the team alive. So that is really how we're working it. Now additionally here we're focused on attack. We're using our lovely Dream Conductor's Whistle, cooldown with Squishy Jelly Watch, and Old Pilgrim Scroll. So really attack, crit focus, and on top of that cooldown. Things that you could consider, you could certainly try Robes if you wanted. Sleepyhead's Jelly Watch probably a little bit better. Grim Looking Sigh if you're running some survivability issues. Disciple's Magic Scroll. Survivability is going to matter here. The Crepe boss here can absolutely wipe your cookies with Crepe Barrage. So you want to make sure that you stay alive. The biggest component for me here is making sure that they all survive. If we can get them all to survive, we can most likely do enough damage. A little bit of randomness, RNG, goes a long way here, both in damage, both survivability. Back to the team here, a couple other key pieces. As we always do, we got the toppings and biscuits for you. A couple things about this. We have all the guides for you here on the channel. We also have a playlist. You can check those out if you need more additional details. Couple things we always recommend. First, Resonant Radiant when it makes sense. And then additionally here, just for your knowledge, on the biscuits. This one has 4. I have made the upgrade and the investment in it to make it happen for you. Now, a couple things around that. Generally, you're going to want at least 3. It makes a huge difference in the Decadent Tower and the Cake Tower runnings. So it's a huge advantage you focus on these things. Certainly leveling them up first and foremost, and then getting at least 3 to 4 of these generally is where I found success. Now, a couple things about this. We're on crit here. We've already talked about our biscuit effects. Here we're on raspberry for attack. We got 4 here as well. I made the investment here. Lots of bypass. Now again, if we could re-roll a little bit better, might help. We got some crit in there as well. Here on White Lily, we're on attack. Here on our biscuit effect, we actually only have 2. We have more focus on survivability and a little bit of attack there. Here with Linzer, we're actually on defense. Survivability is key. If you have a very strong Linzer, you could try this one here and actually go on this attack speed. That makes a huge difference. And then in terms of our biscuits, here we got defense and HP. Certainly damage resist could be better. However, this is what I have. The defense helps. You can always focus on re-rolling those. And then again, here we're on cooldown with Snapdragon, and the only thing that you really need on your biscuit is more cooldown. So that is the team. Those are the toppings and the biscuits and the treasures. And we talked through the strategy and tactics here to take down Strawberry Crepe. Like I said, the biggest things to pay attention to are not getting blown away with Crepe Barrage and everything else. Survivability first, keeping your team alive, getting that damage in and damage up. This cookie does have, well, boss, Strawberry Crepe is a cookie. Damage resist, lots of it. We got to get through that, break through that. Damage resist bypass is huge on this one. Damage reduction or defense reduction, those kinds of things that we talked about. Amplifying damage, huge difference. The very last thing we're going to talk about, these waffle bots. Even if you take down Strawberry Crepe, you have to take down the waffle bots. If you do not get them, you will lose and fail the level. So that's the very last piece. Now, if you still got a question, if you got a comment, let us know, because I'd love to hear from you, and feel free to join us in our amazing Discord server and community, my friends. All right, let's go for this run here to take down Strawberry Crepe Cookie. Couple things here, we want to get this off right away. The best thing that can happen is Strawberry Crepe doesn't go after Black Lemonade right away. There we go. So we evaded that. I like it to attack Linzer out of the gate. It kind of sets us up a little bit better on our cycle. That's why you saw me click there. When I click, typically it's going to go after Linzer first. If I don't, it can go after Black Lemonade, take Black Lemonade out, which creates a big problem for us because we absolutely need Black Lemonade to survive and take this thing down. So here we got Suspect in there. We received increased crit damage. We got the damage down as well. All the big things that we need. Luckily, they only have 2 stacks right now. We got 10 million left. We're very close here to 20 seconds left. We need to get some good damage, and that's some big damage. Here's those waffle bots. We got 10 seconds to take them down. Believe it or not, you can almost lose, and you can lose. We've done it before, and I'm very, very excited there because we got it done on our first try for you. I would say generally it's probably going to be 1 out of 3 runs if all your stuff is the exact same as mine. Don't forget to keep on trying and keep at it, my friends, because it can make that difference of success here for Tray 13. Now, with that, let's get into it here today as we break down the 4 T's. That's the tactics, the team, the treasure, and the toppings over to help you succeed and overcome the Decadent Choco Cake Tower Tray 14. Say that 20 times fast, my friends. With that, you can find all those timestamps down below. As we get through that, we go for the run and pull it all back together as we always do, and other great information there in the description. So let's talk about it here today, because that's why you're here. So Cake Burros applies attack and attack speed debuffs when attacked with multiple regular attacks within a certain period of time. This enemy has a rage meter that increases continuously, and when full, their attack increases. They become fatigued when affected with frozen and taunt repeatedly. When fatigued, their rage meter decreases and they receive more damage for a certain period of time. This is very, very key to getting by this boss. You gotta keep getting that fatigue meter hit, and then the rage meter decrease, so your team's not taking a ton of damage, and it's giving you that increased damage against them. Now, the moveset that Cake Burros has is Demonic Claws, attacks the cookies with its giant claws. Demonic Stomp stomps the ground with the full extent of its demonic strength. And last but not least, Demonic Howl breathes Demonic Fighter at the cookies. All these can pack a punch, all of them can take you down, so we gotta survive first and foremost. Now, the recommended cookies here, which is pretty sweet, we got Night Cookie, we got Milk Cookie, and we got Frost Queen. Now, a couple things around this. There are other cookies with taunt. I do want to call that out. We're going to give you one of them here today that we use to get by. That's super, super crucial. Here we have the special conditions. In this battle, cookies will have adjusted stats. Now, as a free-to-play player, I do like this. It kind of levels the playing field. Here we get minimum cookie level 70. Min cookie skill level is 70 as well. Min cookie grade is 5 star. So all my stuff is 5 star. I don't have a ton of Ascended stuff. Now, here we have Bonds, Sugar Gnome, Laboratory, Costume Sets, Guild Level, Guild Relics, all that stuff. Doesn't matter, my friends. The toppings do, but their bonus effects don't. So this means biscuits are key. They're very, very key. I can't ever say that enough. In the Decadent Choco Cake Tower Tray, I've also made investment in my own and practice what I preach, as I like to say, in order to help get by these things and create some of these further guides for you past really 10 plus. So let's go ahead and talk about the team here, because this is key. Now, here exactly is what we are running. We're running 2 defensive-esque kind of cookies. Our main healer is going to be Icicle Yeti. Again, being able to help block some of that damage, which is really, really nice. The one that we were talking about that has taunt is Fettuccine. Don't forget about that. So having taunt is a huge, huge piece here. Taunt right there, 12 seconds, my friends. That self-healing is a big deal. It is enough. The key for this one is, as long as Fettuccine just survives, generally your team is going to have enough survivable ability on it to get by. That is a key tip and trick to help you get past this. Now, a couple things here. We're heavily focused on frost damage between Frost Queen plus Sherbet. If you have questions on other cookies that have frost or ice, you can go here and look. So we're using these 3. Now, I did try it here with our friend Snow Sugar Cookie. However, I wasn't able to, she just kept getting wiped. So we got away from that. Now, we also have Linzer in here, again, to increase the damage through the reduction, all that stuff, and apply amplified effects. Very, very key. Now, in terms of our treasures, we are on attack and cooldown. That is what we're on. Now, you could try Sleepyhead's Jelly Watch. You could go here with Disciple's Magic Scroll if you need a little bit more survivability. Again, this does always make a very, very big difference. In reality, we're only going to lose. We go from attack 45. We're only losing about 9% attack. To gain that defense can make a huge difference. I'll even leave it in there, even though I did it with attack. just because sometimes this one can help just a little bit more. And then again, we got the crit and everything else there. So all key pieces in order to get by and succeed. Now, a couple things here in terms of our toppings and biscuits. As we recommend, we always say resonant when it makes sense, and radiant when it makes sense and matters, because it does matter, my friends, and makes a huge difference. Now, in the case, again, for the toppings and biscuits here, it's not really going to do anything because they don't take effect. So again, we could be here, but it doesn't really matter. However, with that, we have all the toppings and biscuit guides available to you here on the channel. You can check those out in our playlist. Couple things though, when it does come to our cookies, biscuits, one of the biggest things I did for fettuccine, because I do not have enough twos, here you can make that investment if you want to. Again, a great idea. I just used a lot to get these things where I needed them to be. I took a step back and took advantage of the 3 here. So you can get by with an epic hard. However, just again, as a general recommendation for everyone, you're going to want to be on those legendaries. That's going to give more survivability. In my case, again, really only 2 that are helping. We could use the legendary one, flip out 1 more, and that's going to make a huge difference there for us on our defensive cookies. And then additionally here for Ice Cold Yeti, you really only need cooldown. For Sherbet, we're on debuff, resist, and cooldown. Again, 2 things that we could definitely tweak. Also on top of that, we can definitely move Sherbet over. Cooldown, damage resist, bypass. Let's go ahead and use this one and equip it. There you go. Making this one much better before, but I did beat it again with that one there. So we'll show it so you can see it. We're on attack. Here with Frost Queen, we're also on attack. This one I did make a nice investment in. We got damage resist, bypass, attack, and attack. Again, can make a couple more tweaks. We're also on attack, not cooldown. And then for Linzer, we got defense and HP, a little bit more survivability. And we are running Solid Omen for defense. You could switch over here for attack speed. That can also make a difference there, my friends. So that is the team. We also made some key tweaks so that you could see that as well. Again, I was able to do it not necessarily on all legendary stuff. However, I wanted to show you regardless. So with that, my friends, again, that's the tactics, the team, the treasure, and the toppings in order to get by this. Sometimes, again, it's at first you don't succeed, keep trying again. Because the RNG does make a difference, particularly at these higher levels, because the damage spread can be more of a range, and things that take you out can also be more of a range. So a little bit of luck can go a long way. Now, if you still got a question, if you got comments, certainly let me know, because I'd love to hear from you as always. And feel free to join us in our amazing Discord server and community, Resident Kubo in there as well. A couple things here. The Frost Queen, you can get your rally effect up. That's obviously going to make a big difference too, so don't forget that. Let's get into it here against Cake Boss, my friends. And here we go. So what you'll see is when all this stuff stacks nicely, which means essentially we got Suspect in there, we got the debuff resist bypass in there, we're going to hit some really nice damage jumps just like that. That is huge. Now, the big thing here is keeping that eye on Fettuccine. As long as Fettuccine makes it through, we're going to be in a very nice spot. That is the trick. Now, again, that can be that difference between the legendary biscuit for me, like we talked about, in order to get by and succeed. We get kind of 2 chances with Fettuccine. Once Fettuccine gets wiped, we do get that revival, fast healing. Here we go. Very close. We're getting really close here. We just got to keep this up. We lost Frost Queen. We lost Fettuccine. We got to do it all over again. So that was not a great run for us there, unfortunately. Let's go ahead at it once again. Here we are. Again, makes huge differences. The best thing you can kind of do is just keep clicking as well, and trying to keep some of these things moving a little bit faster, particularly our friend right there, Fettuccine as well. The other thing that you could maybe consider is just a little bit more on the cooldown. for Fettuccine to survive and keep casting, as well to make that kind of other difference there. Alright, there's our stun. We'll save that timing. Keep that taunt on. There you are. Big damage. Let's get that damage in, my friends. There we go. A little bit early on the taunts. That's okay. Nice hit with our taunts. Stay alive. Frost Queen there. There we go. There we go. Kind of a double up. Uh-oh, there goes Fettuccine. It's still... Oh, much closer. I was going to say, it still can be possible depending on how far along you got there in order to get by and succeed. So now, because we've been on that defensive one, let's move up to the attack back again, because that can make that difference in order to get by as well, as I mentioned before, and just deal enough damage in order to succeed. So here we go. Not as focused on the defense maneuvers this time, more focused on the attack. There we go. Right. And as always, swag and merch available here on the channel. Nice ways to support. So thank you for that. There was a huge chunk of damage, if you saw that. That is what we need. We just need a couple of those. Because when they hit, they deal so much damage. That's one of the things that you can kind of try and time as well here. When the stuns go off, when you lock this thing out, we gotta get it down before we get hit by that rage. That can make a huge life savings difference there. Alright, so there was a huge hit there, my friends. Last but not least, we just need one more big one. Come on, Frost Queen. Take it home. Take it home, you guys. One more, Sherbet. One more. Oh, come on, Linzer. Come on, Sherbet. One more hit. Woo! We did it. We did it. That one little tweak made all the difference for us right there. What a fun one. Now, again, you don't need everything to survive, my friends. A little bit of luck can go a long way. So with that, let's get into it here first and foremost. So in terms of our tactics and strategy, we have Raging Dream Conductor here, the boss. 1.9 million. Applies attack and attack speed debuffs when attacked with multiple regular attacks within a certain period of time. This enemy has a high crit percent and ignores all attacks aside from crit attacks. So this was like Shaka Raka. You can check that out here on the channel. One of the first ones that we did a while ago using this kind of strategy. Defeat them by using electricity type cookies and a high crit percent. So this is huge, my friends. A big one. Gotta be on crit in order to take this thing down. Now here we have Luminescence, ignores all incoming damage except for crit damage. It also has Photon Strike, attacks 3 enemies, targets cookies first. We also have Plasma Discharge, deals damage to surrounding targets and restores own HP. This thing can be a problem. I promise you that thing can be a problem. On top of that, we have Aurora Bolt, fires an Aurora Bolt towards your allies, dealing damage and amplifying the damage they receive. And last but not least, Solar Wind deals damage to all targets here. Now we also have recommended cookies. We have the Sparkling Cookie, we have Rockstar Cookie, and we have Golden Cheese Cookie. We're actually in our teams not going to use any of those 3. However, you can certainly obviously use these depending on where yours is at and your team makeup and structure to get by. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of the strategy to take this boss down. First and foremost, like I said, you have to be on crit. You're going to want to burn this thing down. Also, as always, it may take a couple of different tries because crit is not necessarily as consistent, and because it's a percent, and depending on what that gap is, there's generally going to be a range in how much damage you deal to take this thing down. I've missed, I've hit 0 seconds, and I've hit everything up to like 30 seconds on these teams with this boss. So let's go ahead here and we'll get into our first team. This is the first team that we have here. The biggest component that you're going to see is this is an all electric team. This is built for damage and it's built for crit. Here we're taking advantage of the new treasure, the Grim Looking Electrifying Sai. Increases crit for electricity type by 42%. I got it up to 3. Now you could use Grim Looking Sai. However, if you go get this, you're going to get 12% more, which is really a huge difference. And it made the difference for my teams in order to get by and take this down. I promise you, I tried it multiple times without, would always get close just by getting this. And you can check out my gotcha episode as well for that. This is huge and very important. So then I'm on cooldown, and then I'm on attack. So those are the big pieces that I'm focused on here: crit, attack, and cooldown. Now, in terms of my team here, these 4 attackers and electric cookies are going to make a huge difference for you. A big one with Shining Glitter here is this, as always, dispelling all debuffs from herself, applying the Glitter Rock Spirit to her allies, and dealing damage to enemies. Whenever the song lands a critical hit, it will partially ignore the target's damage resist and zap them. If Shining Glitter Cookie manages to deal a certain number of critical hits with the glittering song, she will provide a crit resist buff for the entire team. This is what you want, because this thing hits your team with crit. So that is huge. While Shining Glitter Cookie is using her skills, she will briefly become resistant. So again, Glittering Song single hit damage, Glittering Rock Spirit, crit resist plus almost 20%, and for self 35%, and resist bypass. So these are all very, very big things here, my friends, because when we go back to this boss, again, when attacked with multiple regular attacks, this enemy is high crit percent, and at high crit percent, don't forget, it hits very, very hard. Shining Glitter is a huge piece that you need for your team to survive. Now, once again, not only is it going to be very, very dependent or RNG on our side for multiple tries, also on the other side, because that thing's critting and dealing tons and tons of damage. Now, this particular team here, it is, again, probably more RNG than the next one I'll show you. However, this is a pure damage team as well. And it moves really, really quickly. The big thing is how fast that you get taken down. If you can burn it down really, really quick and you still lose your team, Stormbringer is good enough to close that gap and close it out. So in terms of our toppings and biscuits, this is huge as well. So a couple things though. As always, we recommend Radiant and Resonant when it makes sense. Sometimes like this, if it's very, very particular, like crit, you may not want to do that. However, we have all our guides here in playlists that you can check out for additional specifics and those kinds of things. Now, generally on top of that, for our biscuits, we'll have Legendary. You want to get these things all the way maxed out. And then in terms of our effects, like this one, we did make an investment to get to 4. Generally, you're going to want at least 3. If you can get it to 4, even better. I know these things can be a little spendy, but again, that makes a huge difference, and I did that to really climb through the rest of the tower here. In terms of Black Lemonade, we're on crit. In terms of Shining Glitter, we're on crit. Here's the biscuit as well. I got lots of bypass. This one, I have cooldown and HP. This one, we're on crit. And this one, we have 2 cooldown and damage resist bypass. Last but not least, we're on cooldown. And then more cooldown here with Snapdragon. So that is our tactics. That is our first team, really focused on that damage. That is our treasures and our toppings plus biscuits to take down the Raging Dream Conductor, my friends. Let's go for it here, but before we do, we can't always forget about our special conditions here. Min Cookie level 70, skill level 70, so this boosts free-to-play players like myself. Min Cookie grade boosts like me, 5 stars. I don't have a lot of Ascended stuff. I did have a little bit here, if you can see between those two. And then additionally, don't forget Bond, Sugar Gnome, Laboratory. Everything else is X, so toppings matter, except the toppings bonuses don't take effect. Your biscuits really, really matter, and those bonuses really, really take effect. So I want to just make sure that we get that one last time. All right, so let's go into it for a run here. Again, can be very dependent. We'll see how it goes for Tray 15 here. Ideally, we can hopefully take this thing down for you in the first time. You're going to watch, look at how fast that damage goes for us. Again, the big thing is this guy can just totally nail all 3. There's that 3 hit. We need that resistance on with Shining Glitter. Here comes the big one once again. If we can survive this one here, there we go. Here comes the big punch. Oh, we might not be able to get it. We'll see. It can be very, very close here. The problem is this guy can heal. He's starting to out heal. I don't think we're going to get it with 30 seconds left, but we can try. If we get that to about 2-ish million, now it's too fast. We're not going to be able to get it. So we'll try it again. If you can get it down to about 1 to 2 million before he takes out your back line, then you're going to be good enough to close that gap. Again, very RNG heavy, very dependent. Again, I did do it with this team though. There's a huge hit. See, look at that. That very first one just absolutely heals everything. That's just brutal, my friends. All right, come on, team. We need that bonus in here and protection. Let's do it. There's one down. Okay. We're still okay. Right now, we're still in it. We got 2 left. We're getting close. Down to 2. Down to 1 million. We got it. There you have it, my friends. Our entire crit team for you to take this thing down and bring it home for Decadent Choco Cake Tower Tray 15. Super, super excited about that. One thing that you can change is on some of those substats in your biscuit, or if you have to, maybe flip one of those. You could go to Twizzly as an example. That is the weakest one. You could put damage resist in there to make those changes. Probably on the biscuit, one thing is probably going to be just enough to help you close it. That is our first team. Let's give you a second team. So this is the second team here. Very, very close to the same strategy. The difference here is we pull out Twizzly Gummy and we're adding in Elder Fairy. What Elder Fairy is going to do is he's going to help with, again, more pieces in here and helping your team survive. So what he does is, again, dealing more damage, applying injury, and reducing the amount of healing enemies receive. He shields his allies with an HP shield proportional to his ally Cookie's max HP, and with the shield capacity increases with more buffs applied on Elder Fairy. Elder Fairy Cookie grants Prism Shard and applies a damage resist buff to himself, and Cookie with the highest attack, or 2 cookies with the highest attack if White Lily Cookie is not in the team. If Elder Fairy Cookie has a Biscuit HP upgrade, he can also apply Prism Charge to allies. While using a Prism charge will heal the target's HP for a certain amount of time. Unlike other cookies, White blah 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 blah, Elder Fairy's damage resist will increase affected by a buff. While Elder Fairy Cookie is using a skill, he will become resistant. So again, we got all these other things in here that are going to help your team in order to get by here, and that damage resist and those stacks are huge, my friends. So that is the one change that we're making in terms of toppings and biscuits. Like we said before, the only difference here is we're putting Elder Fairy actually on cooldown. We're not putting Elder Fairy on damage resist. The other two are still on full-blown crit and cooldown and crit. We're staying with our treasures here and making sure that you have that grim-looking Sai. Cookie's at 42%. This team here is a little bit more consistent than the last one because we get more survivability because of Elder Fairy. So let's go ahead and bring it in and bring it home and bring it down again for the Cake Tower Tray 15 against the Raging Dream Conductor. So what you'll see there is not as much damage like we had, but a much more consistent living because of Elder Fairy here. We shouldn't run into a problem where we lose any of these cookies. What we should do is keep that consistent damage here. Again, we are able to do just enough to bring it down. You might run into some clock time challenges just due to that sheer fact. Again, what you want to be is around that 13-14 million spot at a minute left in order to take this down. That challenge, the big one, is that healing that you saw. Again, there was a big heal right there. We got 30 seconds left to close this down and bring it home here for you. It's going to be real close. Down to 4. Pop back up to 6. Are we going to be able to get it in the last 10 seconds here, my friends? We'll find out shortly. Oh, 400,000 left. So close. A little RNG goes a long way, and there I can also upgrade, as you can see, Shining Glitter skills Cookie's skill a little bit more. All right, here we go again. We got to prove it. Doesn't count unless we prove it, as we like to say. All right, Raging Dream Conductor. Little bit better start there for us. Again, you want to aim for that 13, 14 million at that 1 minute mark. That makes a huge difference. Generally, we want to be about halfway on the life of the boss when we have a 2-minute clock, or whatever clock you're racing against. We're a little high right now. Little high. It's going to be close. The heals have been hurting us. We're under 10 almost. There we go. This one's doing a little bit better than the last one. So it's going to be a nail biter. As always, my friends here. 6 million left. Can we get it? We need like 2 more big massive hits. There's that big heal. I think it's done healing hopefully here. There we go. 1 million left. Come on, 1 big hit, team. Oh, right on the buzzer for the beater at exactly 2 minutes. How awesome is that? So like I said, this team tends to be a little bit more consistent in terms of survivability. However, doesn't get as much damage out as the other one. The other one gets a lot more damage out. So I wanted to give you 2 options here for the last one, primarily because I know a lot of players ask a lot of questions about what you can swap around. This gives you a different strategy and idea for 2 different ways in order to overcome Raging Dream. All right, that is the end of today's episode. A lot of floors, 15 of them to be sure. Now, with that, thank you for tuning in. As always, if you still got a question, if you got a comment, certainly let me know, because I love to hear from you. As always, I suspect we're going to see more here of the Choco Cake Tower. The other nice thing about this is now that we do have it completed, we can back all the way out and, my friends, truly actually close it out with this reward here, Devour. We devoured the Choco Cake Tower. We get some amazing rewards here, and that is what today's video is all about for you. You got a couple more days to claim this. Best of luck on it, my friends. Collect those rewards. I want to make sure you don't forget that. And with that, thank you for tuning in. As always, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you for the likes and the subs as we continue to grow this amazing community. If you still got those questions, comments, let us know. Love to see you in the Discord server. And don't forget, we thank you to all of our members. We do have memberships available to you on top of that, affiliate links and a swag and merch store that you can check out. All great ways to support the channel, my friends. So thank you for that. Don't forget our socials, @MeChatMe. As a free-to-play player, I love featuring content around your stuff as well. So with that, thank you as always. Get out there, keep on climbing. We got more stuff to be running through here, and keep on running, my friends.